today we are joined by Vanessa
Rogeiro. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. I've been practicing that all for 2.5 minutes today. Vanessa is a creative strategist and music psychologist who spent more than a decade working across both the indie and mainstream music worlds. So Vanessa's background covers everything from artist management, sync licensing to live events.
Yep.
Sonic branding. What does that mean?
That is part of a lot of the work I've been doing for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
In simple terms, say a company is looking for, say, music for an ad.
Mm-hmm.
They will come to people like myself or my colleagues, and we'll pick a song for them or a collection of songs, and then they'll pick the final one.
Nice.
And then sonic branding can also be, like we did a project, which I can't go into too much detail, but essentially when you need a sound for a logo, for example.
Okay.
Or like when you open Netflix and you have that.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
sonic branding.
That's cool. That's really cool. Right, okay. See, I didn't know that. That is it's probably a very, very niche part of the job, but still very important, I guess, because everybody knows the Netflix don't they?
Yeah.
So you've always got to focus on keeping the artist's integrity front and centre, because I imagine there's a lot of predatory behaviour when it comes to artists and people trying to get what they can out of people and stuff. So how do you help protect artist integrity?
I think that's a chronic disease in the industry, not just in music but in entertainment in general.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's really important to, first and foremost, don't support companies with that mindset. Since a young age, people ask me, why are you not working with major artists or with major labels? It's not about the artists, it's about the companies that represent them. Not throwing shade per se, but it's really that culture that I just don't support. Putting music and money in the same sentence for me just don't go hand in hand. Whereas if you are supporting an artist for the artistry, for the passion, you can just go a very long way.
Now, your work does go far deeper than just industry strategy. You do also explore how music affects us on a psychological level, how sound can shape your identity, collective memory, and even our well-being. So for projects like SENTIŌ, Vanessa blends sound, movement, and art as a way to heal and reconnect us with ourselves and each other. So you're kind of sitting right at the crossroads between art and science.
Yeah.
And I think that is you're kind of asking how music not only entertains us, but also transforms culture and creates meaning. So, obviously, you posted a SENTIŌ event at the James. We will touch on that kind of properly, but kind of give us a lowdown of what are your...
That was awesome, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a good space, isn't it? So, now, like I say, we'll move on to that. So, being that you're musically minded, what's one song you've had in your head this week that you just can't get out of your head?
Man, I was talking to a friend over the weekend because I was telling you I went to the woods.
Yep.
I woke up that day here and I had this song screaming in my head. In June, I went to Greece and there was this spiritual sort of festival. And one of the acts was actually a tribe from Brazil. And there was this shaman singing this song. So on Saturday, I woke up with this song screaming in my head. And I thought, oh, it's just another song. I'm just going to play something else. Man, it just stayed there throughout the entire day. It was driving me nuts. So in a good way.
Not even a commercial song, just something from the tribe.
No. A shaman was singing inside my head from miles away.
It was like...
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, at least it was a good song. It wasn't like, Baby Shark.
Vanessa.
Sorry.
I was having a really good day.
It's only 10 a.m.
That is such a crazy phenomenon, though. When the way songs just get stuck in your head, and everybody is trying to create a piece of music that gets stuck in your head, aren't they?
Yeah.
When people say, "Oh, you sold out because you know," it's no, they just made a catchy tune, man, and people like it. You know what I mean? And that's
It's super interesting, you know, earworms are really a phenomena. And yeah, there's plenty of research around it. We don't need to go deep into that topic.
Yeah.
But it can really be just anything. And you just look at someone like TikTok is a great example. Like, how the hell is this a trend now?
That Jet 2 theme, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's crazy.
And it's been going on for years. I think I moved to the UK right about the time when that started.
It's also quite interesting that sometimes the correct sound has always been there, but the right trend hasn't come along just yet for it. So like that Jet 2 holiday song, is it Jess Glitton?
Yeah.
She wrote that. Obviously, it's years old, that song.
Yeah.
But the trend didn't suit it until kind of recently. So it's kind of like, not only, you know, you might have already made something that's going to be an earworm, but you just don't know it yet. It's just dormant. That's really interesting to think about.
Yeah. All of that goes into the marketing strategy, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
They may have been like, the sales are going down, let's bring this song again.
Yeah.
I didn't follow the whole thing, but it may as well just be let's just put this on TikTok on a random day.
See what happens.
Sure.
Now, what is it that first pulled you into music? Was it the creative side or the psychology side at first?
I don't know. I was born into music.
Born into music?
Yeah.
Nice.
My grandma used to work at this professional music school. So I was brought up in that environment. Half of my family are musician, classical trained. And then I joined the band as well with the French horn to start and then the flute. So
so it's just the easy instruments to start
with. Yeah, it just flew naturally. I don't know which one came first, to be honest.
Casual French horn player. Yeah, no problem there.
I would say what came first was actually a community part.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you're born into it, so it's very much like almost destined.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So like, is it just one of those things that you just picked up and just never stopped?
Yeah. Yeah, and then the passion grew, and you get to the teens, and you just start seeing this entertainment world with the different eyes, and you want it, and you want to get closer and closer. And then part of it was also realizing the other side. So, everything that happens on the backstage. That was around the time I started working in live events, and then as I went into uni, that really continued, really focused on live music, festivals, etc.
And what instruments can you play?
Well, right now I'm not playing anything. No, I'm lying. I was playing handpan before I came in here.
What?
Handpan.
Handpan.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like this UFO thing. First time I played, it was a workshop, and then I put a caption on Instagram. I caught a UFO.
So do you remember the person that you brought in with the instruments? Is that your partner?
Yeah.
Yes. He's such a cool guy.
Yeah.
What can he? So do you play together quite a lot then?
Yeah, I just steal this band.
Nice. That's so cool as well, because it's like, the kind of music and everything. It must be quite rare to find someone who shares your deep-rooted love of like native instruments.
Yeah.
Because like everyone likes music, but like to find somebody that's into the handpan and the little drummy stuff.
I think it really depends on the type of community. I've been traveling for the last 4 years, and you really get a sense of how to find that type of people.
Yeah.
So coming back here, there was that fear of, I'm going back again to the UK. I live in the UK for a long time. How am I going to find people with a handpan? But I mean, these type of things are growing. Spirituality, yoga. Everyone is doing yoga these days, so it's kind of easy.
Even I do yoga.
Oh, I want to see that.
Listen, my half lotus isn't bad.
Nice. I do half bend and all of that stuff.
And the table and whatnot. Yeah, kind of getting there.
Okay.
It's pretty. It's very difficult. Everybody thinks yoga. It's not. Yoga is very hard. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No matter what anyone says. Especially when you're like big lumbering lump like me, it's really difficult. I
don't think it has to do with the body. It's just you have to get out of your mind.
Yeah, mind stability, mind-muscle connection, all that kind of comes into it. But it is a very spiritual experience. And this is a bit of a tangent, but I didn't realise how spiritual it can be until you do it. Especially when it's hot. When you're doing hot yoga, the feeling of accomplishment at the end of the class is insane.
I haven't done that yet. I feel like it just, I don't know.
Your heart's going like you feel like you've run a marathon. It's wild. but the music in yoga is so important. It you're struggling, you can bring yourself back to the room. You can use it to escape. You can use it as an anchor point. Everything. It's I noticed that like kind of first few classes. But anyway, so you've worked across indie music and the mainstream music. What's the biggest difference in how greatness is defined in those spaces? Because I imagine the metrics are a lot different.
Yeah, I mean, mainstream, you're really focusing on numbers and sales and not to say they don't have authentic artists, but that is the metric that you're going by. Whether the indies, they're just trying to do something they love and try to make money out of it. Not in a selfish way, just like, hey, this is what I do. I'm just sharing. Most of them are sharing, their thoughts, their stories. So that is the main difference. Mainstream, kind of the songs need to fit everyone in a way.
I think a lot of mainstream can be literally quite manufactured. So like a one-hit wonder, sometimes that is the goal, isn't it? They just find, right, here's a pretty boy, here's a pretty lady, here's like something that's going to fit the current ecosystem. Let's write them a song that's going to bang and squeeze every last penny out of him and then leave them by the wayside having given them 1%.
Exactly. If they get 1%.
If they get 1%,
yeah. It's mad. Yeah. That is really the culture I don't understand to start with, let alone support. So,
So do you not really work in the mainstream side of things anymore? No.
The mainstream for me went as far as live music.
Live music, yeah.
And then I was like, this is probably as far as I go.
Yeah, because even things like the pushing ticket sales and all that kind of stuff must be pretty cutthroat.
Yeah, I mean, here in the UK we have a good system as far as tickets go, but there's this big scandal going in the US with Ticketmaster just charging double the price of the ticket for the ticket. It doesn't make sense. I
think sometimes the artists themselves don't know how much their tickets are going for.
Yeah.
Because they're in a bubble, aren't they? They're an artist, they're a rock star, whatever. You've seen interviews of Kurt Cobain finding out how much people charge for tickets, and he's shocked.
Yeah.
And you've had, is it like Pearl Jam refused to work with Ticketmaster, and they always have done because of their so, I guess there's an onus on artists to kind of have a bit more responsibility.
Well, but it's not so much on them, that is part of the narrative that I really struggle with.
Yep.
Which is, that is all the label's responsibility. It's not the artist.
Okay.
The artists are the face and they're the one that everybody blames.
Yeah, of course.
But the real wrongdoers are the people behind them. Mm-hmm. So they're almost like just a puppet in their hands doing whatever they please. Yeah,
I guess I didn't mean that it was their fault. I guess that, like I say, because they're not really, they should probably maybe have a little bit more hands-on with it, like some artists do, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cutthroat world, man. Oasis tickets. Manchester Oasis tickets, hundreds of pounds. They're from Manchester. It should be like a...
It's crazy expensive. It's especially when they're in their hometowns. Why can't just go somewhere, do it the very old-fashioned way, no fees, off you go. It's going to sell out anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I'm kind of on that topic. You're saying that you've obviously got the love for the independent kind of music. Why is protecting creative integrity still so hard in the industry today?
Well, I'm going to give you a number, or maybe ask for it. How many songs do you think are uploaded to Spotify every day?
Now, listen, right? I'm not going to be able to give you a number, but my response is more than you'll ever be able to listen to in a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about millions.
Yeah.
A day. So the indie artists have a story. Each person has their own life, their own thoughts. Obviously, everybody wants to share. But with that, the integrity is supporting them in ways that doesn't exploit them. TikTok brought really good things where indie artists can just make it.
You get really famous now from,
Yeah,
just
oh,
from TikTok music. You don't even
yeah.
have to put video, you just upload a song, bangs, gets on a million reels,
Yeah.
laughing.
It's good in that perspective, but then equally you are competing with a sea, if not an ocean, of songs, of people, of all the indie artists trying to do the same. So that is really the equation that, again, it's just not adding up. And it's like this cycle that the industry keeps on going around and around and around. At least now, for a change, it's impacting both major artists and indie artists. Yeah, but just going back to integrity is really about that support that they won't be able to get probably anywhere else, and guidance as well. A lot of them, they're not marketers. They're just like, yeah, this is my song, go check it out.
Yeah.
That's all they do, and that's all they have to do. So if they have mechanisms or people to support them in a way that they're not stealing from them or taking advantage of them, then it's a win-win for everyone.
So say you're a budding artist and, your songs are popular and you're doing quite well for yourself. What's your advice to them? If they haven't got a PR, they haven't got anything, what's like the base level advice that you'd give them, and they're just starting out, but they're just starting to gain momentum?
They will start receiving a lot of offers. Don't take anything exclusive. Run. Right now, it's a really dangerous time to do that. Things are very unpredicted, with AI especially. Just don't go exclusive. Run every single contract by someone that you actually trust and has music legal expertise, not just a random lawyer, someone with really music understanding. Yeah, a lot of PR these days doesn't work anymore. A lot of people, promising, we'll make you a hit on TikTok. How?
Yeah. Yeah, so, right. So on that kind of, what is your, so you've got this, so the ethics of AI, that's kind of like another thing. But this gentleman, he was called Michael Smith, US man charged in 2024 with AI music streaming fraud. He's accused of creating hundreds of thousands of songs using AI, then using automated bot accounts to stream them billions of times across platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, and YouTube. He allegedly obtained over $10 million in royalty payments fraudulently. He was charged with wire fraud conspiracy, and money laundering conspiracy. Each carries up to 20 years in prison in the US. So it's considered the first criminal case in the US involving AI-generated music streaming fraud. And it highlights gaps in streaming services detection mechanisms and how fraudsters might use AI to scale operations. So, what's your opinion on that? And it's a tough one, isn't it? Because it's like the only people really is is he taking away a piece of the pie from other artists? Is he just emptying the pockets of the bigwigs? What do you think of that, and what do you think can be done about it?
It's very dangerous right now.
Yeah.
What we're seeing is tech companies that have no clue, and to be honest, no interest, no empathy for anyone, and have no understanding of what music it really is. And this person just took advantage of it like people do. It's like, oh yeah, I can do something quick and easy for free, and I have no idea what the consequences are. When there's no laws, this is what happens. But equally, we have technology just advancing so fast all of a sudden without legislation. So how can one thing go hand in hand with another? I came across this song recently. I was just searching on Instagram for something to put on top of a SENTIŌ post, and the song was so heartwarming. Like, the lyrics is like, oh my gosh, you don't have lyrics like this anymore. Like, it was really like, huh. And then I went on Spotify to check out the biography of the artist. And obviously I got in the habit to do that because of work. And then I started reading and I was like, she is a mom from Vietnam and she's creating music that express her emotions. That was it. That was the bio. I'm like, you a man for Vietnam. And it's like my brain start connecting dots. And then I went to the discography, and you could see there's a song almost every day. I was like, oof. You start identifying those red flags, and I think where streaming is not doing that job for you, because even themselves, they're advancing that technology to really identify AI-generated music. As users, I mean, yeah, you can stream a song, maybe by mistake. But if you like it, make a judgment decision. Do you actually want to support this person?
Yeah.
You know, is this the ethical way that they're doing things, or are they just, you know, unwillingly or unknowingly stealing someone else's job? And we're talking about, you know, oh, just making music and anyone can make music, sure. But we're talking about people with careers, people with deep knowledge in both the theory, all the emotions that go into it, you know, production, songwriting. Those are all skills that are very niche. And all of a sudden there's these big AI companies like, hey, you can make music in seconds. Like, why?
They try and portray it as a good thing as well, don't they? Like, because obviously they want you to use the product, but like the point of entry, the skill point of entry for any skills now, it's almost just not there anymore, is it? So
it's frightening. I mean, you know, when we were younger, we were promised AI that will clean our house and do our chores. Yeah. Here we are talking about AI in music.
Yeah, exactly. AI cleaning out people's banks, more like. Now, I don't think one thing that AI possibly ever, unless it becomes like some serious like Terminator self-aware kind of thing. Yikes. Yeah, that one thing that AI never be able to replace is the human connection, and music's a big part of that. Like, music's got no language, it's universal, and it really can help with healing. You can find a song, listen to it on repeat, and be like, wow. You know what I mean? So that's a big part of kind of your ethos with like SENTIŌ, isn't it? Is that music is a massive, massive healing tool. How does music heal people, in your opinion? Is it emotionally, psychologically, or even physically in some aspects?
All the above, to be honest. Yeah. Music is medicine. It's been going on since humanity has been around. So, you know, when you put music together, people heal together as a community, and what the tribes have been doing since ever. Ceremonial and sing and dance and be in community. So that has been in place since we can ever remember. Now, in Western society, as we know it, is kind of just now being used or overused in a good way. There's definitely an explosion, and we're seeing, obviously, music is impacting on the emotional level, as we all know. You know, that's something that we all have. You know, you have a favorite song, or just a random song that you find, and it's like, oh no, I just started crying all of a sudden. There's these funny Instagram videos where they go, this is my millennial playlist, and they go from alt rock to, you know, crime ballads, just a song. Yeah. Like, what the hell's happening? Emotional roller coaster. So you definitely have that impact regardless of the song. Then you definitely have songs that purposely build for it, you know, the right tools, or just, you know, tribal music that they have their own ways of doing it. On the physical level, that's an interesting part, because your body stores trauma physically. So everything that's been happening in your life that you may perceive as a trauma mentally or emotionally, it is stored somehow. So through dance, or, you know, if you just have your headphones on and just listen to music, your body can process a lot of it just through the waves and through those vibrations. There's a really interesting new device. It's like a little egg that you put on your chest, almost like a speaker, but it's got an inverted speaker. So you put the stereo part right on the art, and you're just laying down. People around you can't actually hear it, but you can hear it inside your body. Wow. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet that'd be amazing.
Yeah. if you have a little speaker on your own, and if you try that at home,
it sort of works.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I feel like even like if you hear a tune or a beat that you really like and it gets you up dancing, like, because, you know, it can make you healthier. Like, look at Zumba. Like, you know, like getting fit and healthy is healing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, you know, Zumba was
That's a great example, because
yeah.
a lot of people don't go to the gym, and just through dance,
Yeah.
you're doing exercise.
Yeah. I think like my I used to be like a lot heavier than I was now, and I mean like unrecognizable. Probably maybe 20-30 kilos heavier than I am now a long time ago. And I was a bit reserved. This is when I was a lot younger, a bit reserved, kind of, you know, didn't really have many friends. And then
Lee, I want to give you a hug.
I know, sorry. I know. but basically, I was working in a supermarket at the time, and I met this lad, and he told me about house music, and I'd never heard it before. I'd never actually heard house music. And then when I first heard it, I was like, wow, this is, I was like, boom, boom, this is amazing. And then, like, because I was dancing every weekend, lost loads of weight and stuff, and was just like dead confident in myself. So my whole attitude just changed, and I kind of come with this ethos that house music is like the heartbeat of the world. You know, it embodies the heartbeat of humanity. So like that's why they have like dance music festivals all over the world, and everybody's the same. Everybody dances. You know, it's always the same thing. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't. You don't even have to like house music to like house music, because you'll just be like, oh.
It's the beat. It's the beat.
Yeah. And it's just a bit of a tangent, but I do genuinely think that I agree with what you're saying, basically. Yeah. And you know, if you can't get to the gym, just dance about for half an hour every day.
There you go. Yeah. Go to the woods and do some ecstatic dance.
Can you share a moment where you saw music completely transform someone's outlook, or experience like a specific moment, like something that sticks in your head?
It was sort of, a lot of people were in this zone of being self-aware, and being very conscious. And then, you know, everybody started losing up and stuff. But there was this specific person, and this was in the woods here in Peak District. On the corner of my eye, I just saw this man grabbing this big log. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Headphones on, jamming. He grabs the log and he starts just raging the log on the ground. And I'm like, wow, that's one way to do it.
Nice. just out of nowhere.
Yeah, everybody was dancing and jamming. House music, I think that's what was playing at the time. I had never seen this before. And I'm like, I've been to a lot of ecstatic dances like this, and obviously witnessed music in so many forms. But that rage through music, whoa, you can do that? Yeah. Sign me up.
That must have been pent up building for a while or something. It's just like overloaded.
Yeah. I'm like, I think we should all get a lot of people that instead of arguing, let's all go to the woods and just rage some logs.
Just chop wood.
Go for it. I like the idea.
Yeah. Because we live in quite a noisy world, and we get distracted a lot, don't we? So like, how can people use music more intentionally day to day as like a tool, rather than just like putting it on in the background? How can people use it as a bit more of a day-to-day tool?
A really cool thing I came across recently is called mindful listening, and it's essentially that.
Is that the same as active listening, or is it a bit different? Because active listening is where you listen to each individual element of a song, so you can kind of hear it and that kind of stuff. Or is it more spiritual? It's
different. Yeah. Active listening is you trying to identify, you know, the different parts of the songs. Like mindful is more, what does the song is actually doing to you?
Got you.
So not so much on the aspect of the song per se, but more what is happening in your body, in your mind. It's like being aware, really. That is a really powerful tool. Yeah, you put things playing in the background, but when you start doing things with intention, okay, let's play this on the background. Now let's stop and let me see what's happening, what is actually doing with me, and that can be a 5 minutes break.
It's like I'll put music on to cook because it's like, and it keeps me like grounded, right? Cleaning, different song, that kind of stuff. So yeah,
definitely.
It's very, very great tool, and it's like I think greatness is so prevalent in music. You know, you think of music throughout the ages, and like it just screams like greatness as it look at things like Live Aid, you know, like the Beatles, Oasis, everything that they've done can be considered kind of like great in a way. Now, what does, in your opinion, what does greatness? We kind of touched on it earlier, but what does greatness mean in music? Is it artistry, legacy, is it purely numbers, or is it something else?
Medicine.
So music is medicine. So
yeah.
Greatness is medicine. Medicine is greatness. Artist. Sorry, go on.
You're right there.
No.
Glitch.
Yeah.
Glitch, everyone. Music is medicine.
And that's what greatness means to you in music.
Yeah. It's really that power of changing who you are, shaping who you are as well.
Absolutely.
And being a form of identity in many ways. Not just in terms of musical taste, but also attaching memories to a specific song, or remaking memories even. That's a cool thing to do, actually. Going back to mindful listening. I had a friend of mine, and she had this specific song. It's like, oh no, I was listening to this song while I was breaking up with my ex. And I'm like, girl, let's listen to this together.
Let's rewire the memory of
and
this
then,
song.
And then the memory that became attached to that song was us just dancing away on the beach and just letting go of all that nonsense.
There's an amazing clip, I believe it's of like a dementia patient, and they're listening to like some classical music, and they get up and start dancing, and they haven't like done like, but and it's like they remember the song so vividly.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that it's such a powerful anchor. Honestly, you can hear, it's like you can hear 5 seconds of a song and your entire hair stick up. Like you'll be like, whoa, you know what I mean? You know exactly what a song is, and
sometimes it's just a beat, and you're already like, oh, that's the one. Yes.
Like the first 5 seconds, you're already going. Now, like you seem to have you got quite an eclectic taste in music then, I take it?
I'm forced to.
You're forced to, yeah, got no choice. So who embodies greatness to you in music? It's like it could be either someone personally, historically, famously, something like that. It's just a standout individual that you'd love to kind of spotlight.
There's a few artists, I mean, I'm sure there are many artists, but a few that I've connected with recently. I think the big one for me, the one that sort of started like, okay, here's my name, here's what I do, this is music as medicine, help yourself. Sam Garrett. It leans more towards singer-songwriter, but also reggae. He's from the UK, he lives in Portugal. Gosh, he's amazing. It's really good. There's All Away as well from Australia, I think. And then obviously all the tribes. But those two artists were the very first to do that change for me.
What would, if you had to like define the genre, what would it be like?
I've been on a quest to define it myself. It's hard. It's like medicine music and spiritual music, new age. I don't know. I think we need a new term. There's this new thing called opecore.
Opecore.
Yeah, but
I love putting core on the end of words. It's amazing. But yeah.
Yeah, it kind of fits. But when you have opecore, it almost rings a bell to house or electronic of sorts.
Got you. Okay.
Where if you just have songwriter or tribal music, it doesn't really fit. There's another term which is organica. That kind of works, but then again, if you have reggae, then it doesn't work. It's definitely like a mix of styles.
Yeah, amazing. Definitely worth. That's just for my own selfish gain to have a little listen to later. Yep.
Yeah. But again, all music can be medicine. You just have to put the intention to it. If you want to go home, like, okay, let's have some Pearl Jam today. I've done that. Freaking love Pearl Jam. So.
Yeah, Pearl Jam, great.
Yeah.
And now this is about kind of like culture and the wider order, like basically the world and everybody. How do you see music shaping collective memory? You know, like the way whole generations attach identity to certain sounds. It's sort of like, you know, the 60s were synonymous with like hippie music, you know, like different music, there's like Britpop, that kind of stuff. So how do you see it shaping collective memory, kind of like going forward and that kind of stuff?
I will go with I don't know. That is the research I'm going to start this year.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. If you knew that, then you wouldn't be sat here, would you?
Well, exactly. I wouldn't be in Sheffield.
Yeah, no.
I mean, a lot of it really goes into what you're saying. It's the collective memory. What exactly are we trying to remember through music? You know, through colonialism across the globe, we lost so much knowledge. How can we go and find that knowledge again? And there is a big problem here, obviously, in Europe, all the Western society, not so much in the US because there's still many tribes there. But in Europe, unless you go to really remote areas in East Europe, you don't really have a lot of foundations. Yeah, you may have traditional music and folk music, but to the core of, you know, all the people that were living here before the Romans, where's that history gone? So that is an interesting path to really understand how far this collective memory goes and how we can use music to get together, create something good, and just unite ourselves for once. Yeah.
It's basically like kind of follow up to that is like, do you think that culture is more fragmented now than it's ever been, or can music still unite people on a mass scale? Because
it does.
Yeah, absolutely does. Yeah. Like it's. I mean, because obviously I suppose it's a kind of, I'm trying to stay away from anything like on a political basis, but with everything that's going on in the world at the minute, we are pretty much more divided now than I can remember in my life and like historically. Do you think there's like, because you can go to a rave, it goes back to rave culture, and you will not question somebody's political alignment between the hours of 10 p.m. and 4 a.m.
Yep.
And you'll just, you know,
exactly.
And then you'll leave, and that's that. You won't give a second guess about it, I guess. Yeah, it goes without saying that.
Yeah, it has that power of just uniting, but obviously communication is key, right? Yeah, there's a lot of division. Yeah, there's a lot of misunderstanding. There's wars. There's people fighting. People losing, whatever losing means. You know what? As we were talking about, music is medicine. Just prescribe some music. Go have some fun. Stop the nonsense. People are too much in their minds. Like, what does it matter? Like, we don't have to go into the details. I know everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
But like, go home. I'm on planet Earth. Where the hell do you want me to go, Mars?
Where else can I go? Yeah.
I'm waiting, Elon Musk. Where's the rocket?
Yeah, I'll go to Mars with you. No,
okay.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
I think I have a good group now.
We'll start
a
commune on Mars.
There you go. The James on Mars.
The James on Mars, yeah, it's happening. So your film project has kind of like really piqued my interest, you know, like, and it looks like it's a celebration of everything we've basically been discussing. Yeah. So tell us about the Eternal Song. What drew you to get involved? What's your involvement? And yeah, kind of the floor is yours.
The Eternal Song. I have no clue how I came across SAND. SAND is the production team behind Eternal Song. Stands for Science and Non-Duality. Anyway, they just appeared. They arrived in my life, and Eternal Song trailer came out, and I was already in this phase of understanding, you know, what is music? What does music actually mean to me? I went through a deep period where I was struggling a little bit with identity in that realm. And so the film came out, and they host a 7-day-long workshop with all the tribes featuring in the film, everyone that they support, with talks. Some had, circles of healing. There was so many things during that week. And that has really awakened a really interest in me. And the reason why I wanted to bring it to SENTIŌ is because of the foundations. We just share the same foundations. It's the same beliefs, it's the same standpoint of what SENTIŌ stands for, not just in music, but this community memory and unity that I think both of us, both Sand and SENTIŌ, are walking towards. So it was a no-brainer for me. I saw the film, I was like, I need to have people watching this. First person I sent it to was like, Mom, here's the login, help yourself. I only share it with my mom, obviously, because I do want the tribes to get the donations that they deserve. But I was just like, people need to watch this. So then I moved to Sheffield. It was always in the back of my mind. I need to make it happen.
Now, obviously, you've kind of just touched on this because you've basically given your reasons for being involved and wanting to get it out to the masses. How does this film connect with your philosophy of sound as something that heals and connects?
Well, it really goes to what I was saying. It's this community aspect to it, where we don't need to be close to this knowledge, as in physically go to these ancestral places to heal, to unite. We can do this together ourselves. We have each other, we have music, we have art of all kinds, and this is not about appropriation of all the knowledge that they have, all the teaching that they have. It's really an understanding and curiosity as well to learn with them.
It's like the information is there and can benefit everyone. It's not appropriation.
Yeah.
It's like
it's us. Yeah, it's humankind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
a lot of guilt from what the ancestors have done to these people, to these cultures, and a lot of the healing process that the world needs is not just about tribes, it's about our own. We are the ones that forgot what happened. By acknowledging the greatness of, hey, we discovered America. I mean, I'm Portuguese. We discovered the world, and here I am talking about healing community with tribes. So, all of these, a big thing of this process is what's called decolonialism, which is essentially do the reverse. How can we go and approach these cultures, and how can these cultures approach us in a way that is mutual beneficial to each other? So that's really what the film or the films are gonna bring up. They're gonna expose a lot of really sad facts, but they're also gonna expose a lot of unity. And that is the hope that for me is the important part.
It's like you're kind of taking the words right out of my mouth. It's like the film and sound can then become like a frontier for deeper cultural impact, can't it?
Yeah.
And I think it's so important that we experience, like you say, the bad and the good, because we need to be reminded of what happened so we can A, never make those mistakes again, and two, just be aware of the things people have gone through and be able to empathise and sympathise and be better people all around. You know what I mean? And that's healing as well, isn't it? Becoming a better person. Like, so being a host of a podcast is, it can be quite a spiritual experience. It can be, because you'll start to connect with someone you've not had a conversation with for more than 5 minutes, like me and you, and you sit there smiling your head off at each other, laughing like, that's great, I've never thought about this, and it's really, really, really good experience. And it's something that I never did in my other jobs, another tangent, but yeah, I'm starting to really get the hang of it, really enjoy it. So let's talk about SENTIŌ, let's talk about what it means to you, and let's talk about what it means to the people involved, kind of feedback you've had, and go from there.
SENTIŌ was born out of a desire to give back. I've been painting and dancing since I can ever remember. But just for myself, without even realizing, the healing aspects of it, I just thought, oh, it's music. Because I always had my headphones, whether I was dancing or painting. So once I start sharing that with people and SENTIŌ was born, I was like, hold on a minute. I've been doing this since forever. Yeah, now I have the tools, the knowledge, both through work, through research, and through art therapy, of all art therapies that exist. But I also have my own spiritual journey that I didn't even know I was taking. So really having the opportunity of giving that back, that was the key moment, or the key aspect, rather, to really put on the forefront of everyone. SENTIŌ is really built on the foundation of music as medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm exploring is the different directions that this can take. Originally, it was just art sessions. That's how it started, where we start the session with a little bit of grounding, and then we move into painting, and then dance, and then mindful listening, and then a sharing circle. All of these this is a very simple way to put it, but yeah. And then from there, there's a lot of ideas growing and many directions this can take. Film is another art, so we can use that as well, as long as we get the narrative of, okay, music is the basics. So, when you go and watch the film, okay, the film is called Eternal Song. There's a lot of music, we're talking a lot about music. In this specific one, I haven't seen the other films, but it will be more detailed into each tribe rather than more of a global point of view. But in essence is, when we talk about community, you're talking about music. So you can just grab whatever you want from there. You can grab film, you can grab dance, you can grab theatre, you can grab paint, just whatever.
Music goes with everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It literally goes with everything. You can put a film on, turn the volume
Cooking
down.
and cleaning, you were saying before.
Cooking, cleaning. You can put a film on, turn the music off, turn the volume down, put a song over it. And you can do anything with music. It's like fine wine. Wine and music. You know what I mean? Everything. Sleep.
Wine and music. Yeah. That's mindful, active listening. And drinking.
And drinking. Sleep, like some music, amazing for sleep. Like binaural beats, that kind of stuff. It is literally, there's nothing else. I literally can't think of anything else that can go with everything. Like that, to that extent. Yeah. There's a song for everything, isn't there? A song for every occasion. Sorry, see my little excited little jokes.
Love it.
And so with what was the turning point for you that you thought, right, I need to put this into a system that can be shared with others. This has to be out there as like a learning system and a healing system.
I had already made the decision of building SENTIŌ. I just didn't quite know how. And so there I was in bed on a Sunday evening, and I was like, I'm just gonna paint. I'm just gonna do whatever. Music was blasting, sorry to the neighbors. And then I just started painting away. And all of a sudden, all of those emotions started coming up, and I was like, wait, this never happened before. It was the combo of the two, mindfully, that changed it all. I was like, this is the ingredient. And you can say, oh yeah, I do art therapy.
The sauce, the secret sauce.
Yeah, it's the combo. It's when you put intention into things, that's when it actually changes. If you go, we were talking about Pearl Jam before, and that's a great example. If you listen to Pearl Jam, just to listen for it, I mean, it's great. You're driving, you have Pearl Jam, great music to drive by. Just, go somewhere perfect. And then you can have Pearl Jam to go to the gym or to study at work. And I've tried all of the above. Not drive, I don't drive, but I'm on the seat, on the next seat. And there's like, how can music, even a specific song, can just be used in so many different ways?
Yeah, just frame your environment.
Yeah, and that is really goes into intentionality. So going back to SENTIŌ, that is how or what exactly changed that perspective. Like, this is it. On the dance part, I didn't have to do dance. We can just go, oh yeah, this is sort of a hard therapy, but I can't call it therapy because I'm not a therapist.
Of course.
Why dance? Because your body stores trauma. So if you don't integrate after releasing everything, it's as good as it was before. Your mind is active, but then your body is not processing. They need to go hand in hand, and this is one of the ancestral teachings. So again, it's just putting everything together with intentionality and then just play with it, to be honest, and have fun.
It's interesting you say that you can't call yourself a therapist, but like can't call it therapy because you're not a therapist, and that it's like so. What you do is quite creative. So for any other creatives listening, or anybody who's maybe navigating a similar landscape, what's one practical way they can stay true to the art like you do while navigating the commercial side? Because you're making adjustments by not calling it art therapy, that kind of stuff, but still staying creative.
Yeah.
What's your advice to people in the same boat?
It's hard to navigate that commercial aspect, and you know it very well. It really goes into what you believe and why you're doing it. What's your purpose? Are you doing this to heal people, or are you doing this to make money? It is a dangerous area for spirituality these days even. There's a lot of self-made gurus online saying all sorts of bullshit online.
You do have to be true to what you're selling and believe in what you're selling, don't you? And not try and sell it for money.
Yeah.
Like if you can make money off it, then amazing. It's all the better. But don't do it for that reason.
Yeah. The film, we are screening it, and it's free. It's not a promotional tactic by any forms. This is free because the film is making donations to the tribes. We are supporting these communities in ways that they don't have from the government. And we as community, as people who believe in them and what they bring not just to us but to the entire planet, it's our role to also support them.
Of course.
So the film screening is going to be all donations based, and they're all going to go straight to the tribes on the film. So again, you could say, oh yeah, you could have done 50-50. Yeah, maybe in the future. Not for the first one, just simple because that is not the purpose of why we screen the film.
You scale production now, can't you? You know, you get like startsmen like scale it up, and it's like right for us to. We can actually provide a better impact for the tribes if we pay ourselves, as some sort of salary, because that way we can put more effort into it, and they will actually get a bigger piece of the pie and get more in the end, just by the fact that we have more resource, that kind of thing. It's all about scalability. But
as a starting point, you know, it's much more valuable to put the community together, really understand if they truly believe in what SENTIŌ stands for and what it's doing or not doing to them, and then let them make the decision. You know, it's not up to me to decide, oh yeah, now the session is going to be £20 because we have 50 people signed up. Why?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
There's people who do that. It's like, oh yeah, there's a mindful practice, but it's so good. It's like, great that you believe in yourself. What is your purpose? Are you still here to heal people?
It's a great ethos, like to be able to just. And I say, it just goes back to not, don't be greedy, don't be selfish.
Yeah.
You know, it's basic human kindness, isn't it, really? Obviously, you've been on quite a long journey in terms of music and getting you where you are to getting you where. Obviously, you've been on quite a long journey musically. You said you were born into it. And to get where you are now must have been, you know, peaks and troughs sort of thing. What's one song or artist that's been a lifelong anchor to you, to music, that's kind of just been a constant, always been there through all of life's peaks and valleys?
I don't know the answer to that question.
I suppose for somebody with such a broad
Yeah, but
understanding of music,
there's not one that's been there all the time. You know, I may. Oh, hold on a minute.
Hey.
Okay, this is for the fellow Portuguese people watching this film. This podcast for the thinking about films. I wouldn't say since forever, the very beginning, but he's a very special person to me. There's a boys band in Portugal, rock boys band. Well, let's not get into weirdness. I've had my share, not gonna lie. Yeah, they're amazing. And one of them, he unfortunately passed away about 14 years ago in a car accident. But it's just been there since the very beginning. You know, I was in primary school back then when they came out. So it's really music from my childhood, and it's just been going on. I mean, not to say that I listen to their music.
What are they called?
They're called Desert.
Dessert.
Yeah, or dessert, as you would say in English.
Sorry.
Yeah. If you're hungry, please don't eat them. Yeah, they're awesome. And this dude, I'm really getting the sense that he was very much into, even just a tiny bit into this world that we're talking about. He believed in music a lot, and in music as the healing powers that it's got. Unfortunately, I never got to meet him, but I think we have a really strong connection. Yeah.
Amazing. It's beautiful that you can have such a strong connection with somebody that you've never met, I think. And like, you can have this lifelong relationship with someone's art, and then you meet them, and then they tell you, and you see it sometimes, don't you? The artists are just really taken back because you might have a story or whatever, and they'll be like, wow, like all I did was record a song, you know, in their head. And then you've got so that's just really, it is really beautiful thought.
Yeah.
Shame that do they make music still, or does the band make music still?
They made a comeback about 2 years ago.
Nice.
But just like, you know, remembering the old days, they recorded
like a
the
Portuguese
hits.
Boyzone.
Goodness me, they're way better than Boyzone. Sorry, folks. Yeah, they re-recorded the hits with national artists, put them singing together.
Nice.
It was quite an emotional journey for everyone.
Cool.
Especially us that we were following them back in the day.
I'm going to check. I've got a lot of homework to do after this one, I think, musically. Now, so that's where you are now. That's what's brought you to here now. Looking ahead, what would you like your legacy in music and culture to be?
Well, I'm about to start my master's at the University of Sheffield in psychology of music, and the goal here is to really get a grasp of how does the ancestral music, indigenous music, heal. There's a lot of research on music, psychology, but really putting together ethnomusicology with Western science. There is stuff out there, but I want to step it up. That is the impact that I feel called to, and SENTIŌ, everything that's bringing this year, it just feels like it's a living lab now, which is quite cool. Building the living lab before the masters.
Yeah, you could almost become your own case study sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. One of the feedbacks I had was actually here at the James. Someone told me, when you put on... No, we had ancestral music playing, so I put a playlist together. I was very mindful. And towards the end, that was a song that a shaman was actually singing on it. And everybody was sort of like quiet. They were still standing, and I just call everyone's attention. It's like, feel this song, these words, this chant in your body. Feel the vibrations of his voice. And so this person came to me and said, when you call out the indigenous song, that really hit me. That was when it started clicking. Gosh, I was nearly crying when she said that.
Amazing.
I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
It's working.
Yeah. And it's that validation that is really beautiful, you know, not so much about hypothetically saying, yeah, these hills. It's really this feedback from the sharing circles. They really get to see, this is not nonsense. This is not delulu stuff. And if you doubt it, come and do it.